What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Bird Games.
Happy Bird Games? That's for me!
It's Happy Beard Games. Happy Beard. Facial hair. Beard Games.
Happy Bird Games. Happy Bird Games. Happy Bird Games. Happy Bird Games. Happy Bird Games.
Wait a minute. I'm talking to a parrot.
I'm a bird. Ha! Happy Bird Games. Happy Bird Games.
I guess parrots can talk. They can repeat what humans say, but...
Beard. Bird. Beard, bird. Beard, bird, beard, bird, beard, bird.
Okay, dude. It's Happy Beard Games, not Happy Bird Games. Come on, dude. Get it right. Get it right.
You win.
Man. And just to be clear, sometimes I do actually say it pretty quickly. So welcome once again to Happy Beard Games. And this is the first video of Happy Beard Games in 2024. So welcome to the new year. Welcome to my channel. We are continuing on my series called Famicom Fridays. Famicom Fridays is basically any Japanese region video game. I do a quick play or other video. Something just fell in my room and that was unscripted. And that means that any Japanese region video game is eligible. So with today's video game, we've got the game Daytona U.S.A. on the Japanese region SEGA Saturn.
Famicom Friday.
Famicom Friday.
Happy
Saturnニュース時速300キロオーバーのスピード体験。これはレースではない、バトルだ。ゲームファン待望のデイトナ U.S.A. 4月1日新発売。すごいソフトはセガサターンから。
I can't emphasize enough how great the soundtrack of this game is. It's really good, really good soundtrack. Every little thing in the game has its own little soundtrack or nice music cues, and it's just great sounding. So the Daytona USA theme is playing right now. Sounds amazing on the CD quality of the SEGA Saturn. We've got the Daytona USA title screen right here. Press start button. I say like up there with Sega Rally, which we played on a previous Famicom Friday. This is pretty comparable in terms of being an awesome Sega racing game for the Saturn. So we've got arcade mode, which is a more limited mode. I think you only get to choose between automatic and manual transmission cars, and there's only one car, so you choose auto or manual. And then it's just the same as the arcade, or direct arcade port from what I know. I'm not entirely sure on that, how specifically accurate it is to the arcade. But we've also got Saturn Mode, which is what we're going to be playing today, which allows you to choose from multiple different car types. I don't know if they have their own speeds or stats, but they definitely have their own colors, and that's where you can also play as the horse, which we'll do later towards the end of the video. You got ranking, which is your leaderboards, and you've got options, which I'm going to check real quick before we start. I don't really know what game mode is. It's normal, Grand Prix, or endurance. I guess you change that here rather than changing it before you start the level, but I could be wrong about that. We're going to put the difficulty all the way down to very easy because I'm not very good at this game. I did pretty bad on Sega Rally, so I'm assuming I'm not going to do too great on this one. So you can see there's a little bit of Japanese text in this game. I don't know if that's in the North American USA version. It probably is not in the North American version, but I don't know for sure. So we're going to choose the first stage, the first track. One thing I don't like is there's not unlimited time to select your stuff. I know it's based on an arcade game, but they should still give you some extra time. And if you go back to this one, when you have the cheat code enabled or unlocked, you can play as Daytona Uma, which is the horse. We're going to choose the original car. I guess it does have their own stats. Acceleration is B and grip is C. So I could eventually choose a better car later on. We're going to choose this one with automatic transmission. And press C to start. Gentlemen, start your engines. That's a real photograph back there, digitized. But then the rest of the game is its own, like, in-game graphics. 3, 2, 1, go! I like to zoom out a little bit. I don't know about you guys' preferences on racing games. I like to be able to see a little more of the field in some games. If it's a fast-paced game like this one, I like to be able to see the field a little more, or the track at least, my surroundings. Keep an eye on that. Because, but some games I actually like to play in the first-person perspective, so it just depends. Which you can actually do on this one too. If I can get into a safe spot, I'll show you. And your cars actually, I believe they take damage in this game. If I were to crash into that wall harder, my car would actually take some permanent damage to it. I don't know if I can get entirely destroyed. I haven't really played around with that part too much of in this game. But yeah. Let's see if I can get a little bit. Oh, wait, there we go. Boom. There's the damage I was talking about. I got it by crashing into that car. Yeah, you can go into first person and even a closer first person perspective. Now, one thing that I wanted to point out about this game that's really important and nostalgic to me is when I was a kid, I had this game for Windows 95, maybe Windows 98 PC, Windows back in the day. I didn't play it too much. I don't think it really ran that well on my computer. It probably runs better on this, or at least faster on this than it did on my computer. I do remember being able to see a better draw distance on it when I was a kid. And one of the things that I remember the most is about this game is on the first stage. Ooh. There's a mountain with Sonic the Hedgehog like carved into it, or like a sign with Sonic the Hedgehog carved into it. So keep an eye on the background. You might see it coming up. There it is. There's Sonic up there, just right above where we're at this turn. And yeah, it's just really iconic and nostalgic to me to see this level. I wish I could see more of the level. The limitations of the Sega Saturn are pretty hard on this game. Sure, it runs fast and it sounds great on the audio, but the draw distance is really, it's just kind of distracting. If it was a little bit better, a little bit further out draw distance, it would be like a perfect game. If we could just see what's coming up before ahead of us a little bit, just a little bit more, because we're going so fast, and the ground and background is like taking a while to load for you. I don't know, it's weird. What's up with that slot machine reel thing? Does that do anything? I remember that too from when I was a kid. But yeah, this game's awesome. A lot of fun. I would say the soundtrack is the highlight at this point. Either that or just being able to play a nice arcade racing game on your home Sega Saturn is another good highlight of this game. Yeah, it's fun. It holds up pretty well as an arcadey type game. Don't expect a lot of depth. It's not your Gran Turismo. Oh no. Come on, can I get in fourth? There we go. Fourth place, not too bad. I was hoping for third, but we did alright. We did alright. It's probably the best I've done recently. Listen to this. That's like the happiest, most upbeat game over sound that I can think of, aside from another Sega Saturn racing game, Sega Rally. So on Sega Rally, they have that clip that says, "Game over, yeah." So I don't know which one's more upbeat, the hip-hop "Game Over" on this one, where it spells it out, or the "Game Over, yeah." I kind of like "Game Over, yeah" more, but that's only because I've heard it more. But I really do like the "Game Over" on this game too. It's pretty cool. So we saved our high scores. Goes back to the title screen of the game. Now let's go back to Saturn mode and try a harder track, the medium. Now it's interesting to think that there's less laps on the harder tracks. So there's short, medium, long, which gets easy, medium, hard. There's less laps, but it's also a harder or longer course. Now I've got a little bit of time to check out what's the best car. That one's a B and C that we did last time. This one is A and A with 305 max speed. The max speed's a little bit lower, but I might choose that blue one. So let's see if there's anything else that's A and A. Don't see anything. There's one. Oh, it's manual. Okay, let's go back. Oh, that's the one I was on. No. Okay, we got it. Oh, I thought we weren't going to get it. We're running out of time. I don't like how there's a time limit on a home console when you're trying to choose your car and like your engine and all that. I don't like that. That's cool that flips in the, I didn't even notice that, the 3, 2, 1 green light, it like flips into the game screen. Really nice graphics. So it should be a little bit better in terms of handling and stuff. Either that or maybe it means like you have to be like more skilled to use this car. I don't know. It's not the default car. could be a little harder to control, potentially. It should be better to control, but it could potentially also be harder to control. I don't know, but so far we're going all right. Yeah, this music's great. Oh, okay. I don't think the last level had checkpoints. It might have. It had laps for sure. It had a lot of laps. This one's got a longer... Whoa! Vertigo. Holy guacamole. That was weird. Like, going down that hill was weird looking. It was like a weird sense of like depth. But yeah, I was saying this level has checkpoints, or at least one checkpoint that you got to get through. That was the start of the lap. So the lap is complete now. But there's like a checkpoint halfway through it that you got to get to extend your time. Like, I don't know if there's a time extension on this one, because there's no time limit, as far as I can tell. I was thinking of like maybe another game where you had to get checkpoints to extend your time, like maybe SEGA Rally. Maybe this has a mode where you can do that. Oh no, I crashed. Hit the wall too hard. Checkpoint. Okay. There's a couple checkpoints, I guess. Keep in mind, I haven't really played this game too much. I picked this one up in my work just a couple days ago, really. This is my first time playing it on the actual Saturn. I've been considering getting the Saturn wheel. Now that I have more than one racing game for the SEGA Saturn, I can kind of justify buying a controller for them. I tried in a previous video, which was the SEGA Rally video. I tried to use a modern Nintendo Switch wheel using an adapter to the Saturn and using my wheel controller for the Switch on the game SEGA Rally. It didn't really work at all. Like, it worked, but it was way too sensitive, so I'd have to get the actual SEGA Saturn wheel for the real experience. I'm not able to catch up to anyone. I'm stuck in 13th. Get on the track. I like this part where it goes down that hill. That's cool. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I have to get the original SEGA Saturn wheel, which I don't mind getting. I've been collecting for Saturn for a while. I recently picked up in my previous video, the one right before this one, the oh, I should probably go in the pit to repair my car is probably what I should have done. Maybe it goes slower now. Doesn't seem like it is. Sorry, I get a little sidetracked, but in the previous video I picked up the SEGA Saturn mouse, which we'll be using in future videos. Oh, big crash. Wonder how much of damage you can take. Does your car actually like completely break down in this game? It seems like I might be going a little bit slower, but not really. You would think it'd be a little easier to control with just two buttons, really. You've got, you know, the D-pad, and you've got A, or I guess it's C and B in this game. Yeah, I don't like this track as much as the other one. It has some cool parts in it, like the part where you're going down the hill, but I don't like this track as much as the first level. From what I remember, the third track's really cool, though. So we're going to try the third track a couple times today. I didn't do very good on this one, but I did make it through the goal. Stayed in 13th position the entire race, it seemed like. Definitely not as good as 4th place, though. I still like that. It's cool. It's like they didn't have to put a little song for every little thing in this game, but they did. Hey, I got first on my leaderboards, so that's cool. I could put HBG as Hybrid Games, but this is my actual initials. It even says those out loud, which is really cool too. Alright, Daytona USA. Now that time it didn't take me back to the starting, the intro video that it plays. It just took me back to the title screen. I don't know why it was different that time. Let's go to Saturn Mode.
Please select a race course.
Let's go to the longest track, or the longest course.
Please choose manual or
and we're gonna just choose the same car from the beginning car. Let's just double check. There's this one over here, which is C and B. That's B and B. What's the first one? B and C. I'll try the B and B because I don't want it to be too fast or too crazy, but I also want it to be automatic because I'm lazy. I mean, manual's cool if I was more experienced with the game. I might actually choose manual sometimes because I do like being able to control the gear shifting, but not at this point of my gameplay. I'm not gonna choose that yet. This is the level that I really like the music on, and I also really like the level too. So keep an eye out for the background of this level too. It's really cool. They say you can brake. It's like I'm going so fast. I'm not sure what he said actually. Whoa! 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 That was crazy. Get back on the actual track. Yeah, this is the music that I really like. Sounds like a Japanese city pop a little bit. Ooh, we're going down the hill. Oh, we're going a little fast. This is really cool. If you're wondering about this game, you know, it's not too expensive in the US version, but if you're curious about getting the Japanese version, it'll probably cost you a little bit less. I think it was like $15, maybe less, or even less for me because I got a discount at my work. But it's like around $15 for the Japanese version, I'd say, maybe $12. And it runs completely, like, you don't need any translation at all. Like, there's like almost next to nothing in Japanese in this game, as far as I can tell. I can't tell any other regional differences in this game, so it's pretty easy to pick up and play for anyone. I would say even if this was in Japanese, it would still be pretty easy to pick up and play. Like, I'd still be able to understand a majority of the game. You're just racing a car, you got 2 buttons, that's about it. Whoa. Okay, that was crazy. Let's zoom in a little bit. See, I feel like the car takes up too much of the screen when it's zoomed in on its normal default viewpoint, which is why I'd prefer either that, oh, I got some damage, or just zoomed out all the way. That's why I like doing that. I wonder if it helps the frame rate at all, or not frame rate, the view distance, draw distance. I don't think so. Maybe it does. Look at the background when I change it. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to say. This part's hard when you're going through these, like, under this bridge pass. Oh. But you can see, and this is something I wanted to point out, you can see the limitations of the Sega Saturn's graphical power. Sure, this was definitely, like, ahead of its time. It's definitely better than what Nintendo was doing graphically at the time. Because Nintendo at the time, their only 3D was like the Super Effects chip, which is like Star Fox graphics. This is definitely faster running and better looking than Star Fox, and debatably better sound quality. It's like pure CD sound quality on this compared to the Super Nintendo chips, which I still like Super Nintendo a lot. But yeah, it's definitely ahead of Nintendo, what they were doing at the time. Even with the N64, the sound is better on the Saturn, so it's definitely ahead of its time there. But on graphics, 3D graphics specifically, the Sega Saturn is lacking behind the PlayStation, which I think might have been out at the time of this game's release. It said 1995 on the title screen, I believe. It might have said 94, which is still pretty early for 3D, so you got to give them some definite respect for that. For like having this kind of graphics in 1994/95, but it's still like steps behind what PlayStation was doing shortly afterward with like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. Ridge Racer maybe. Once again, I can't really catch up to anyone, but also I'm not falling in last position, so I'm not like doing completely terrible. Oh, that was the end of the race. I like how there's a little jingle, like the music doesn't just like end, it has like a little ending to it. as you complete the track. So we've done a majority of the stuff in this game. Once again, it's an arcade-based racer game. It's very, I like to use the word arcadey because it's an arcade port. It's quick to pick up and play. Not too much and to learn about the game before you start playing it. It's arcadey. You can pick up and play. Put a quarter in, sit down, race, have a good time. That's what I mean when I say arcadey. So with Daytona USA, there's not too much else to do. There is arcade mode, which I believe is the same thing. It's just you only get to choose from automatic or manual transmission. I could be wrong about that. But we're going to go back to Saturn mode and check out that cheat code that we enabled with the Action Replay Plus. Alright everybody, that brings us to our Japanese phrase of the week, which is uma. Uma means horse in Japanese, which isn't really a phrase of the week this time, but just a name of an animal, which is uma, which means horse. Which is also relevant to the video game we're playing today, Daytona USA, because I unlocked the uma, the horse, in Daytona USA for the Japanese region, SEGA Saturn. And that makes it our phrase of the week, in this case, word of the week, uma, meaning horse in Japanese. So we're going to try this one, and remember, the horse is these ones. It says Daytona Uma or Daytona Una. I think it's Uma because look at the way the N is like drawn out in the Daytona versus the way the M is spelled out in Uma. So it's Daytona Uma. And we've got manual transmission and automatic transmission, all have the same acceleration, grip, and the speed is actually a little bit faster on the manual though. So we're using the automatic transmission. This is the horse unlockable race car. So I don't know how you unlock it normally, but I just saw it in the cheat codes and I thought it was awesome. So here we go. Horse time. Get your horsepower ready. This is a fast horse. Now this horse can actually crash and stuff, which is kind of crazy. But I don't think it takes damage, which is a good thing. So I don't really want to see the horse taking damage in a race car game. Get out of my way. Oh, you can knock down the cones? I didn't even like try that out yet, I don't think. I don't know what the guy's saying. It's hard to understand what the guy's saying. He's saying the same thing over and over though. Ow! Horse in the road. Jeez. I feel bad. Like, for some reason I feel worse that it's a horse instead of a human. Even though I'm still in control of it. It's cool that they have this. I don't know why they have this. Speaking of cheats in games, remember in the past on Famicom Friday we checked out the game for SEGA Saturn, Fighters Mega Mix? Well, you can actually unlock the Daytona USA car as a fighter in that game. So maybe in the future, or at some point, we'll come back to it and check out the race car fighter in the game Fighters Mega Mix for SEGA Saturn. Now I'm in first place. I'm actually doing pretty good with this horse. For some reason, like I'm not on an easier difficulty or anything like that. I'm just doing better with the horse. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because the horse has like a special extra strength. Or not strength, but like an extra stats. But it didn't seem like it. It seemed like it had the same rating. So that's what the horse crash looks like. But we can crash and just keep on going. Maybe it has a faster like startup speed. Like acceleration or something. I didn't even notice that. I looked on the back of the car where the windows are. There's a little bit of reflection graphics. I don't know if it's like real reflections in real time. But this game's pretty ambitious in terms of graphical quality and stuff like that. It's really a great... little ahead of its time too. I have a feeling there's better ports of this game. I think there's a port of it on the Sega Dreamcast later on. But for its time, 1994/95 era, this game's pretty awesome. Yeah, we're like way ahead. Look on the mini-map. You can see that the player 2, or the second place person, is significantly further behind me. So unless I crash or something, I'm not gonna ever like lose. Just keep going. These other cars in front of me are just guys I'm double lapping. That's the power of the horsepower. Oh, it says goal when you win. I was wondering what it was like if you don't get a game over. Ooh, wow, there's a little cutscene too. There I go. Is this a actual, what's it called? A replay? No, I think no, it's not a replay. It's like an extra thing. Just like an ending thing. That's pretty cool. Are those supposed to be all the racers? I wonder if those are actually like the developers of the game or something. Where's me? I'm the horse. I'm not in there. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a guy riding the horse, but it doesn't show the guy on the horse, so it's really funny that it's just a horse. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is supposed to be just the horse, because there's the bonus character. It doesn't even show the car that I had. So this level's weird. I came in first. I did pretty good, but on the leaderboards, I'm only 3rd place. So I don't know what happened, but somehow I'm not the best at it, but I did pretty good. So let's try Saturn mode one more time. One final track. We're going to go to the final course, which is the bridge level that I really like, and we're going to play it as the horse. Now it's still going to be pretty difficult because of all the turns and stuff. On the last track, it was just pretty straightforward, just a big track around. This one has lots of twists and turns and hills and everything, so we're going to have a harder time with this one, I'm assuming.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Hopefully we can succeed on this this race today. Gentlemen, start your engines. Right.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's interesting that on the very first course you get a rolling start. This one's just a 3, 2, 1 go. I think it was like that on the second course too. I could be wrong about that. But the first track, you start out driving automatically. Trying to slow down a little bit, but not to the point where I start skidding and, you know, drifting. Oh no! Oh no! And it makes a neigh sound. Oh my god. I feel so bad. Now we're doing really bad. We can catch up. We can definitely catch up. I know we can. Try to go easy on the car. You mean horse? I know they don't have like voice clips for the horse, but still, it's funny. Oh no. Yeah, I'm trying. It's just so weird. You could be a horse. Those the other horsies, like just in the field. Oh, so they like borrowed the model from that, I guess. That's pretty cool. Oh my god. How did I not crash through that? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do so good on this one. I think I goofed up right at the start. Let's see if I can catch up on this straight away. I've been playing a lot of F-Zero 99 on the Switch recently. I'm an S rank now, or actually S- rank. So I'm just gonna keep playing that game like almost daily until I finally get to like at least an S rank. I still haven't come in first ever on F-Zero. I think my best was 4th place, maybe 5th or 6th. But out of 99 different racers. But yeah, like I've been playing F-Zero 99 a lot, so I decided to play a racing game on our Famicom Friday. Technically, I could have done F-Zero on the Super Famicom version. What the heck? Go! I was actually holding the accelerate down the whole time, but it was completely stuck. Oh my god. Well, that was the first lap. We're not doing completely terrible. We were at 30th before. So now we're going around. It's kind of cool if you notice this bridge, you actually go on that other side of the track, the side of the bridge earlier on the track. What the heck, where am I going? But it just kind of loops around. You can kind of tell from the mini-map and just looking around how it kind of loops around and like goes back to itself. It's pretty cool. It's a nice track design too. I think it's more complex than the track design on Sega Rally. Sega Rally was also 95, wasn't it? I believe it says 95 like on the cover too. So these games must have came out around the same time. I don't know which one came out first. I feel like Sega Rally looks a little bit better visually, which I expected this one to look better too. But they're pretty much the same in terms of like graphical style. Well, I'm trying. Yeah, this game's awesome. I'd highly recommend this game to anyone who has a Sega Saturn, who's interested in arcade racing games, or who just wants to have a fun time in an arcade style setting. Yeah, this game's really cool. I really do highly recommend this game. It's fun. It's inexpensive. It's fast paced. It's fun. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just pure fun game. I'm playing as a horse. What more do you want? That's great music. This level's definitely hard on the first level, or the first course. Especially this turn right here, it always gets me. Like, I don't expect it to be as sharp as it is, and then it is. We almost made it. Aw, the horse strutting in the blue skies. That's cute. Oh.
21st.
Yeah, we didn't do so good this time. I don't remember what I got the first time with the car, but it's still just as hard with the horse. I don't know how I did so good on the first, the very beginner course. So just real quickly, we're going to check out arcade mode just to see if there's any differences in arcade mode. So you got the same tracks, same courses, just to double check. I'm not going to play it, but I just want to see if there's any difference. And that's what I thought. You only have automatic and manual for the same car, pretty much. There's no stats on this mode. And then I don't think there's any other differences, really. They even say rolling start. Like, even that has its own little music too. Okay, I'm gonna play through arcade mode real quick. Yeah, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing you guys already saw. I just want to like verify in my own mind that the horse is not the best. The horse is not that much better than the car, right? It can't be. We never did the pit stop too either. I don't think I need to. Let's see if I can do just as good as the horse, but with a car. That's all I want to check. I need to confirm this because the horse is good, but is it better than the car? Especially on arcade mode. Which I don't know what the difference between arcade and normal is. I'm assuming this is just like the arcade. Except for maybe graphically. I feel like the arcade machine would have a little more power than the Sega Saturn, but maybe not. I haven't played the arcade version of this game. Maybe once, but it's been a long time. I know I definitely played it on Windows 95 or 8. Back in the day, I didn't have any Sega consoles as a kid. I only had Nintendo. So I also had a computer. So a lot of these Sega games, they would also port to PC. Some of them I still have the discs for, like Sonic CD and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But there's other games like Bug and Daytona U.S.A. A lot of the Sonic games, Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah, mainly Sonic stuff. But there was a few other games that I played on the computer back in the day that were Sega games, like ports of Sega current games at the time. I'm doing alright as I just get past. Still doing alright though. I'm kind of like just go full speed on that last turn, but this turn right here you gotta slow down a little bit. Hit the brake a little bit. I'm in 6th place. I'm not doing too bad. I'm not doing as good as the horse though. Oh no, get on the road. No, I'm gonna mess everything up. Still got one more lap after this one. Going too fast. Oh, we have a time limit on this mode. Arcade mode has a time limit. So we almost ran out of time to play. Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking of. Arcade mode has that. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get through. Go, 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 go. Oh, we were so close.
Congratulations.
We're in 6th place too.
Six.
I guess it just kind of cuts you off. So I probably would have got the same, or about the same score. It's still 6th place. Wow. Well, that's arcade mode. It has a time limit, and you have to go lap to lap to get time extensions. So it's basically like if you ran out of time, you'd probably have to put in more quarters, or just try it all over again. That's what it's like on a lot of these arcade racers too, now that I think about it, like Cruisin' USA, Hydro Thunder, stuff like that. Alright everybody, that's it for today's Happy Beard Games Famicom Friday, right here on my channel, Happy Beard Games. We checked out the game Daytona USA for the Sega Saturn, and honestly, with its technical difficulties and limitations of the Sega Saturn, it still holds up as a fun racing game. It has an amazing soundtrack. If anything, the highlight of this game is the soundtrack. Going back to it today feels very limited. There's not a whole lot of differences in the cars, and there's not a whole lot of great graphics, and there's not, even in the tracks themselves, there's a limited amount of tracks to race on. But it's still very fun. It's very fun. It feels like an arcade game brought to your house. And that's Daytona USA for the Japanese region Sega Saturn on this week's Famicom Friday. For more Famicom Friday videos, you can check out my past videos, as well as stay tuned for more upcoming videos featuring Sega Saturn, Super Famicom, and more. Alright everybody, thanks for watching Happy Beard Games once again. Stay tuned for more classic gaming goodness right here on Happy Beard Games.